Fresh COVID-19 infections in the country hit a new record high for the third consecutive day. Health authorities confirmed the local spread of Omicron variant around Metro Manila. And more schools and LGUs declare a so-called health break amid the surge in cases. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. The health department confirms that the Omicron variant is now spreading at the community level in Metro Manila. Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres said they are seeing characteristics of Omicron among COVID-19 cases in the capital. This is despite the slow turnout of genome sequencing. Vergeres added that Omicron is now the dominant variant in the country, outpacing Delta, which caused a surge in cases in 2020 and last year.
Bagamat hindi ho nakakahabol ang ating whole genome sequencing, we already have determined that there are local cases already, yung mabilis na pagkalat, yung very steep rise in the number of cases, yung doubling time po na every 2 days. Ito po ay lahat characteristics ng Omicron variant.
Now with this, the DOH projects that we will not be seeing the peak of the Omicron-driven surge yet anytime soon. According to Vergeres, Metro Manila has over 140,000 active cases as of Friday, which may double by February 15.
Nakikita po natin base sa mga projections po ng ating mga eksperto na patuloy pong tataas ang ating mga kaso. We are still yet to see the peak, no, na baka po mangyari sa dulo po ng buwan na ito or even later about second week of February.
Now, just hours after confirming the spread of the Omicron, the DOH logged another record-breaking number of new COVID-19 cases. More than 39,000 infections were added to the caseload, which now stands at above 3,168,000. Active cases are at 280,000, also a new record. Now, the virus killed 43 more patients in the past 24 hours, pushing the nationwide death toll to over 52,800. Recoveries, meanwhile, surged to 2,834,000, with more than 23,000 new survivors. 47.1% of some 78,700 tests recently conducted turned out positive. 8 laboratories were not able to submit data. Now, despite the continuous rise of COVID-19 cases, the MMDA says a curfew in Metro Manila is no longer necessary at this point in the pandemic. In today's Laging Handa briefing, MMDA Chairman Benhar Abalos said the public has already learned not to go out of their homes after experiencing numerous COVID-19 surges. Abalos noted that as early as 5 p.m., malls and major roads are almost empty. With this, the MMDA chairman said escalating Metro Manila to COVID-19 Alert Level 4 is no longer necessary as well.
Siguro on our own, as a people, natuto na tayo when to self-regulate, na hindi mo na kailangan pagsabihang huwag kang lumabas. On their own, ang kababayan natin talagang hindi na lumalabas dahil alam nilang nakakahawa nga ito.
Local pharmaceutical giant Unilab addresses allegations as the demand for flu medicines continues to rise. In an advisory, Unilab denied that it has been withholding stocks of paracetamol and other flu medicines. The firm also assured the public that it has not raised the prices of common medicines, such as Biogesic. It added that the manufacturing of such drugs has been stepped up to meet the demand from consumers. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Many schools have taken the initiative to declare a health break amid the surge in COVID-19 cases. Some local governments followed suit. Maricel Halili with the report.
With more than 300 students and close to 90 faculty members testing positive for COVID-19, pamantasan ng lungsod ng Manila is pressing the pause button. They have started an academic break last January 10 and will last until the 16th.
Bagamat many of them will not be required to go to the hospital, but it will be very difficult to concentrate. So sa kanila, kailangan talaga magpahinga.
The same goes for De La Salle University in Taft, Manila, which suspended classes until Saturday as 60% of students and faculty contracted the virus. But the whole Manila city will be following suit. The local government has declared a break for all levels in public or private schools starting January 14 until January 21.
Makapagpahinga yung ating mga guro at yung mga magulang. Mabawasan yung anxiety level nila na uma-absent yung kanilang anak.
Marikina City has also announced a break from January 17 to 29 in all levels. DepEd Calabarzon also announced a suspension of classes on those dates. As for Metro Manila, DepEd NCR will be halting classes from January 15 to 22. Question now is, will a national health break be in the offing? For the Commission on Higher Education, that may not be necessary.
Ang marami sa kanila ay hindi na kailangang utusan ng pamahalaan dahil alam na nila yung kanilang gagawin. No? Either adjustments doon sa pag-delay ng limited face-to-face at saka yung paggawa ng mga academic break.
According to CHED, 126 universities are already on break, majority of which are from NCR and Region 4A. For the Education Department, there's a need to strike a balance between health and learning needs.
Hindi po kami lahat na naniwala na kailangan gawin ito sa buong bansa kasi hindi naman po para-parehas ang sitwasyon sa COVID sa lahat ng lugar.
DepEd has set a meeting with the Health Department on Monday to draft a plan for the restart of in-person classes. For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
The Australians are not having it with Serbian tennis player Novak Djokovic as the general public supports the country's decision to cancel his Australian visa. More details in this video.
I think that Novak Djokovic has been playing a game with the Australian public and with the legal authorities throughout the world. It's not just us he's fiddling around with and tricking. It's his own government. I think he should be put back into the same place at which we've kept a group of unfortunates for about last 8 years and put on a nice crowded public plane back to where he came from.
Personally, I think he should be held accountable if the documentation wasn't done right, whether by him or by his management. I think it's if there was protocol wasn't done properly, then potentially that's the case. Again, whether it's Tennis Australia who said that he's all good to go to the tournament versus the actual federal government making a decision based on border security and whatnot, then I think that if it's not right, then maybe he should go home.
So he's going.
He's going home.
Okay, we were fine for him to be here. Don't really care about the vaccination, all that stuff. But with all these other things,
yeah. Now Norrie's playing quarter. I want Norrie to stay through. So we'll go to the top of the draw now.
You have to be frank. The vast majority of Australians said didn't like the idea that another individual, whether they're a tennis player or the King of Spain or the Queen of England, can come up here and have a different set of rules to what everybody else has to deal with. Whether they agree with the rules or not, they believe they should abide by the rules. And that was the issue with Mr. Djokovic, and let's see where it goes from here.
Now, months after its release, the worldwide hit Squid Game phenomenon is still on. Now, how did it inspire viewers to watch more Korean series? Let's watch this video.
It took Squid Game just 4 weeks this past fall to become the most watched Netflix show ever, released in any language. But when it comes to the streaming giant's global ambitions, what happened afterward matters even more. Viewers who devoured Squid Game started watching more shows in Korean. Bloomberg's Lucas Shaw joins us now to talk about his latest Bloomberg Big Take. And Lucas, I was one of those viewers. It unlocks so much more content. Talk to us about the power of this phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix recognized the potential in Korea around the time it first went there, which was back in 2016. As was the case in a lot of places outside the U.S. where Netflix first went, it struggled in the first few years, didn't add a lot of customers, didn't have a lot of programming people wanted to watch. But starting in about 2019, thanks to deals it did with a lot of companies in Korea and then the development and production of original shows, it's really produced a number of popular shows in Korea, so much so that if you look at the data that Netflix now releases every week, South Korea contributes kind of the second largest number of popular shows or top 10 shows for Netflix behind the US, more than any other market. And that's been a key not just to adding customers in South Korea, but all across Asia and delighting viewers pretty much everywhere.
Asia is so vast, so many different countries, so much color. Where else will Netflix go to find more stories like this?
Well, it's three biggest markets in Asia right now are Australia, which almost doesn't count because it's English speaking. They went there early. They've had a lot of success kind of from day one. And then Japan and South Korea, which are its two strongest markets right now, also the places supplying the most number of popular shows, not just in Asia, but everywhere. South Korea because of just a lot of scripted programming, and then Japan because of anime. Netflix had identified India as a sort of third other key market in the region. It's a place where it's had far less success than South Korea and Japan, and India has bedeviled, many a Western media company. I think you'll also see them try to find some openings in parts of Southeast Asia. Their executives talk to us about making shows in Thai for those in Thailand, and maybe some shows in Mandarin for Mandarin speakers across Asia.
Surely Netflix doesn't have a lock on this strategy now. We all know it worked. How can the competitors keep up? And how much of an advantage does Netflix have given all of the data they have from their viewers?
Right now, Netflix has a pretty big advantage, not just because of some of the data it has about what people want to watch, but also because it is so much bigger in a lot of these markets. It has a big head start in South Korea over places like Disney Plus and HBO Max and Amazon. That's not true everywhere. Amazon is bigger than Netflix in both Japan and in India, and is about to make a big push into Southeast Asia. Disney Plus is massive in India, largely because of its cricket rights that it got from this company Hotstar. But I think by and large, Netflix is seen as the market leader in most of these countries and has invested a lot more resources. They're all trying to catch up, but Netflix tends to be of the opinion that as long as it continues to make shows that people want to watch, it's going to keep growing.
Now, for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.